Willickson. I live in Spokane, Washington, and teach at a alternative high school. Whoops, where did the screen sharing go?
Sorry, give me one moment.
Okay,
I thought
no
it was
problem.
me.
We could not figure out how to get mine to share, so she was going to share hers. So we apologize for that. We tried that earlier. But I want to say thank you to everyone for coming, and hopefully this will be an opportunity for you to gain some new resources that you can use in your classroom. We're going to be looking at the Next Gen Personal Finance Buying a Car mini unit. So first off, either by raising your hand if you're on a video or by putting some in the chat, how many of you already use Next Gen Personal Finance in your classroom? Okay, I'm getting quite
We got a couple hands, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. Thank you. It's hopefully it's a resource that if you haven't had an opportunity through listening to this, you'll become intrigued and decide you want to try it. But we'll talk about it a little bit more, but it's a free resource that can be used standalone or as supplementary to whatever you're using. So if your district has a set curriculum, it's a great way to supplement. But today we are going to be looking at the Buying a Car mini unit, which is a completely standalone activity that you can do with your students. Basically, it's going to take about a week if you want to do the whole thing, but I've got a lot of teacher tips to help you out. Okay, next one. I'll switch mine. Before we really get started, though, we want to acknowledge that we're all in the state of Washington, and in particular, FEP is housed in OSPI, which is in Olympia. And Olympia is the ancestral and traditional lands of the Squaxin Island people. And their native language is the Southern dialect of Lushootseed. I had an opportunity, they sent me this slide to add in to check out the link there, which goes to the Squaxin Island Museum and Library. And wow, what an amazing resource of facts, information, tradition. I definitely got it on my to-do list the next time I'm on the West Side. So definitely take a look there. And it was fascinating. And just very simply, as a person in the state of Washington, I want to say thank you to anyone who might have Native American ancestry for your great stewardship of the land, because that's really an important part. Okay. And next, real quickly, who are we? Who's this group that's putting on this professional development? In case you haven't heard before, we're FEP, which stands for Financial Education, Public and Private Partnership. And we've listed out really what our values, vision, mission is. But basically, we want to embrace the opportunity for all students in the state of Washington to have financial education. We want it from K-12. We want the little ones to be hearing and understanding money and values around money and getting that terminology. And then we want to just continue to grow that complexity of the thought processes and the decision-making as they get older. We hope that we leave our high school kids with a really good foundation on how to make their own choices and how they want to handle their personal finances. Because personal finances, we know, is personal. It's off your own values, that it's really important to know the pros and cons and the consequences of little decisions and actions that you can make today that'll impact your life, your children's lives, your future. And so we just want to make sure they have those strategies and understanding. And the really big one we want to make sure is our equity statement. Please know that we are committed to financial education for all students, and we also are there for all teachers, that we are fully inclusive, all students and educators, regardless of race, ethnicity, national origin, color, sex, age, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, abilities and disabilities, religion, spiritual values, veteran status, gender identity, and expression. And we really hope that we can all carry those into our classrooms as well. And we really try to make sure that all of our resources embrace that too. Thank you. All right, and real quickly, Here's a FEP overview. If you guys don't know the history of FEP, it's not a new organization. As you can see, it started in 2004 when our legislation established. At that point, it was FLIP, but I think FEP's a better one than FLIP because it could be a little flippant on how you might say that. So we switched to FEP, as you can see, 5 years later in 2009. And then 2011, legislation encouraged school district to adopt the National Jump Start. And then we integrated those into our Washington State financial standards in 2016. It's great because of the fact that we are integrated in with the national standards, and we've also aligned them to make sure it meets the needs of our state. It's a great way to make sure that more resources are available to our teachers and to our students because of the fact that we're aligned at the federal level too. If you can go back real quickly, that's okay. I wanted to make sure, back, back again. Okay, real quickly, I really wanted to bring out the little black box that talks about in 2022, the state legislation unanimously passed State Bill 5720, and that provided funding for financial education in our state, and it provided a grant program. So if you are not aware of the grant program, there's whole trainings in those. I know I shouldn't spend our time here hearing about that, but be sure to reach out to FEP and ask if you have questions about the grant program, or you can ask us at the end because there will be people at the end who can help you out with that. But through that grant program, it provides money to your school district, your classroom. They can help out with financial education, along with we've tried to establish that all school districts by March of 2023 will have a financial education goal for expanding access. So if you're involved with your CT director, make sure they're getting those in so we can have those. Okay, thank you. Now we're ready to go on. All right, so now who am I? My name is Lisa Willickson. You were told, I teach at Micah Peak High School, which is an alternative high school in the Spokane Valley. So I'm on the eastern side of the state. I've actually been teaching for 20 years. I previously was an computer science engineer, and I worked in the IT industry for 20 years and for companies who wrote software for financial institutions. So I'm coming at the financial way from both directions. I'm certified in multiple areas: secondary math, CT, and special education. And I really like to bring all of those together. I want math to not be scary to students because I want them to use that to make decisions. So I love in my classroom to use a lot of financial calculators so kids realize you don't have to be good at math to be able to use math to make decisions. And so I really love them using that. I make sure I can scaffold everything so everyone has access. It's really important to me that no matter what your education level is, that you have access to understanding money at the ability you can reach it. And I love teaching at a high poverty school. Even though Central Valley School District doesn't have personal finance as a graduation requirement, it is for our students at our school. We are a high poverty school. And the principal and I and everyone have agreed, and it's been phenomenally successful. The kids love it. They're constantly coming in, and it's worked out really well. And then I love, because I'm a FEP fellow and a distinguished NGPF educator, and that's just because I'm passionate about personal finance, whether it's for myself. I've noticed in my own children, they're all grown, but they and their friends have all come to me asking questions. So it doesn't matter what your education status is. If you're going on to get a 4-year degree or a doctorate degree, you're going to have a lot of student loans. You better understand what each of those loans mean. Or if you're going to go straight into the workforce after high school, you better get good at budgeting, because you're not going to have as much disposable income later on. So no matter who you are, you need it. And that's what I love about teaching personal finance, is that I find that I can make it a value to each and every student in my class. All right. So now let's get into why we're here, because you've heard enough talking. So I told you that this was a mini unit that's offered by Next Gen Personal Finance. In case you don't know, they're an endowment funded nonprofit They provide free financial literacy curriculum, and it's current. They're constantly changing it, updating. It's curated. It's very engaging. They make sure that lessons, they've got moving ones, they have got projects, they've got case studies you read. They have videos set into every lesson so that there's a variety of modalities that you're reaching for your kids. Our school, because of being a small alternative, our kids actually take on a quarter system. So they take 3 classes a quarter. So we have long classes. So I really need the different modalities because they can't listen to me talk for 110 minutes. So this way, by having all the different moving and projects and videos, it's really helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's also in all 50 states. They also do provide free professional development. So if you're looking for clock hours towards your Washington State teaching certificate, please think about checking out their hours. They're approved by the state of Washington. They're available in Zoom, just like this. They also have on-demand asynchronous classes that are 1 hour each. So they're quick and easy, and they're by topic. And then they have certification courses that usually require about 10 hours of time. And then there's a test at the end. And it really goes deeper. It's a deeper dive into areas of interest. But the best part about it, it's all free. So there is the website that you could go to sign up if you have not utilized their resources before. All right. Thank you.